Alright guys, Model Muppet here, how are you doing? Having a look at the Last of Us Remastered, and I'm going to have a look at one simple question: is it worth it? Right, well, we can make this video like really short. If you didn't have the Last of Us for the PlayStation 3 and you've got a PlayStation 4, get this game. Right, it is one of the best games that's ever been made for a console. That's for the single player. Now, single player aside, the multiplayer is a lot of fun. It's quite different to most multiplayer games that you'll play. It's only 4 versus 4. It just plays totally different. We're going to have a little look at that. But right now, though, we're going to look at the differences. Because if you've already played this on a PlayStation 3, you know exactly what to expect. So yeah, if you haven't played this game, God, I'm making a right arse of this. If you haven't played this game, now is the time to get it, even for the single player alone. Now the multiplayer is fun, like I said. So what happens though if you did have a PlayStation 3 like me, and you did have this like me on the PlayStation 3, and you're thinking about getting it for PlayStation 4? Now I play on a 50-inch HD TV that handles what the PlayStation 4 can put out in terms of the difference. And I'm not convinced that it's a massive difference. And I'm sure there's going to be some technos out there who will prematurely ejaculate over how many more pixels they're getting, and that's fine. Maybe it's just me. My eyesight isn't the best in the world. But even that aside, even if you have the two versions side by side and you compare and contrast them, what I think happens is once you get into a game and you start playing the game, your eyes become to the graphics that you see. Now, obviously, the better the graphics, the more it can draw you in, etc. Accept that. But what I'm meaning is that at a certain point, you stop looking at the graphics and comparing and contrasting graphics to a real world experience. You kind of you roll with what the game is offering you. Now, what I'm meaning by this is that in real terms, playing this game on a PlayStation 3 or playing it on a PlayStation 4 is not significantly enough of a difference to warrant spending that money. Not unless you really liked it and you really want to experience the game again with a faster frame rate. Other than that, there's no big deal. I haven't played the Left Behind DLC yet. Some of my friends have played it, and they seem to be a bit meh. It's all right. It's not bad, but nobody seems to be sort of really excited about it. Now, buying the remastered version also gives you some more maps, which I have only had a chance to play a couple of games on, and I did terrible. I really did. But whether that's just down to me kind of forgetting stuff, or the game has significantly changed, or I think it's more down to me just not being familiar with the controls and what have you again. So yeah, probably I'll start getting into it a bit more. There isn't anything here that's really getting me excited, I have to say that.
Good to go.
I did enjoy playing The Last of Us Online for quite a serious amount of time. But then I kind of just got to a point where I started to find it hard to look over certain things. The lag and latency issues that the game has, and it does have them, will lead a lot of the times to frustrated cries of, that should have killed him, or I pressed my melee button but nothing happened. And I know that it's not just me, that it's people that I play with, various different people. The Last of Us in its PS3 edition did seem to have a lot of problems with glitches. I won't say hackers, but somehow some people have figured out ways of getting loads of throwables, Molotovs and bombs and stuff like that. Whether or not this happens on the PS4 version, it's kind of too early to say. Actually, talk about being too early to say. Hang on, let me just twat here. Yeah, but talking about being too early to say, I got this game through a friend. Cosberlin is in this game, is in this round now, because we game share on the PS4, and he lives in Germany, and Germany seems to have had a release sooner than the rest of Europe. I'm not quite sure why that was. But I've had a couple of messages of people saying, how could you got the game early? Well, there's your answer. Can't really say it any more than that. Hold on, it's time for a slurp of my coffee. So, if you haven't played this game online yet, you might have got a PlayStation 4, but you've never had a PlayStation before that, in previous sort of console iterations. So yeah, definitely get this game. If you had this on a PlayStation 3 though, I'd say think really carefully. Seriously, think really carefully. It's not clear to me that this is an outstanding purchase that you must get. I probably wouldn't have bought this if I wasn't game sharing with my mate and he'd got it, and I kind of leached a free copy of him. I'll be buying the next game though, so kind of in a way, I guess I have paid half of it, if you kind of get the drift. So yeah, it's not something that I would have gone out and bought. It's fun, but here's a funny thing, right? A couple of days ago, I'd bunged in my PlayStation 3 Far Cry 3. Haven't played the game for ages, and I fancied giving it a go again. And right now, as I'm sitting editing this, and I'm thinking what am I going to do next, I think I'd rather jump back into Far Cry 3 than jump onto The Last of Us Remastered. So, like, I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means. It is not a bad game. It is a very good game. I spent a lot of time in this. But there's nothing in this edition that really keeps me wanting to play it. If you were into the game and you never got around to playing the DLC, you might find that the DLC alone extends the game for you. Or maybe just, different things have changed. You might have had crappy television and you've got a better television now and you want a good game to show it off. So that wouldn't be a bad reason. But overall, there's nothing here that really screams to me, yes, you need to get this game. Now, it is undoubtedly slightly prettier. The frame rate is a joy to play with. Having that improvement in the frame rate, you can see the difference. The question is it enough of a difference? With other games coming out, if your money situation is a bit tight like me, I'd kind of say, if you played this game, hang on. But once again, let me iterate, if you haven't played this game, you have to play it. On whatever platform, whether it's the PS3 or whether it's the PS4, if you haven't played this game, you really do need to give it a go. But as far as a remastered version, yeah. So anyway, the last time I did a kind of a review that wasn't a review was with Destiny, and it was basically me saying how I was cancelling my pre-order of Destiny, and there was a lot of people disagreed with me on that, which is absolutely fine, and it may well be that a lot of you are going to disagree on me with this. So if you do, say so, put your reasons down. Don't just slam a dislike on the video. If you dislike the video, that's fine, But what I'm saying is, if you disagree with me, do say so and put your reasons out there, because I'm pretty sure that my viewers would be interested not just in what I say, but interested in the comments that follow it. I think one of the problems with this is it was such a fantastic technical achievement anyway. On the PS3, it really was a leap ahead over what a lot of games were offering us. And that leap this time round is just minuscule. It's like it's gone from having this giant leap for mankind into a little baby shuffle forward. And yeah, when a baby shuffles forward, parents kind of go gaga and say, yay, look, he's taken a step, right? And it's really important. And, maybe the developers are sort of really happy that they can publish what they feel is a more definitive version of the game, and I totally get that. And if you're an obsessive fan, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you really are into this as a franchise and you want every edition, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, I'd think, nah. Because probably, like me, you'll have a shitload of old games that you haven't played for ages. And you might have Batman Arkham City or whatever game that you really enjoyed and you haven't played for a while, and then you go back to it and you think, this is epic, this is really a lot of fun. And with The Last of Us, I'm not kind of getting that buzz, and it's not because I've just become this cynical old git that can't be asked for stuff nowadays. It's because it's not delivering enough. And the game is nice. The game is really nice. You know, it looks nice. It plays nice. Well, multiplayer plays nice a lot of the time. And sometimes it doesn't. Like I say, you will get used to the sound of your teammates saying, "What the fuck? He should have died then." And you'll occasionally see one of your teammates jog forward like 6 paces as the game is catching up with itself. Not hugely, but you know, it remains on peer-to-peer servers. I think it's a game that would have really greatly benefited from being you know, like a proper hosted server. That's kind of what I'm thinking. The meta game, it remains what it was. You know, as you're playing through your multiplayer experience, you can kind of level up a bit, and it's fun. But again, there were scoreboards for that, and everyone knows that the scoreboards are completely screwed. You've got people who played the game half an hour topping the scoreboards. You know what I mean? Now that kind of thing doesn't really bother me, but it might bother you. So just kind of like be aware of that. So what else? There was something else I was gonna say, and what the fuck was it? I can't remember. Oh yeah, DLC. Like I said, this edition does come with the previous DLC.
Let's go.
For the maps. But there was something that was really kind of striking me as odd. Now, my mates I was playing with were saying that some of the DLC is actual weapons, and that you can get these weapons in multiplayer by selecting pre-made characters. But if you want these weapons with your own loadout, you have to actually buy them. Now, I'm going to have to wait and see if this is right, because if that is right, that is seriously fucked up. You should never, in any multiplayer game, have to spend real-world money on something, you know. And I, for one, I'm sick of this whole feeling of being nickeled and dimed, you know, that it's not enough just to actually buy a game. We've got to like buy this little add-on and that little add-on. And seriously, when I spend the money on a game, I'd rather just play it and forget about money completely while I'm playing. It doesn't just mean that it costs you a little bit more. It's like an extra little niggle that the game's given you and stopping you from completely enjoying it. Now see, oh no, that was my fault. I was getting mixed up with different situations. Yeah, that was my fault. But there's been times when I've had a smoke bomb thrown at me, and I've been the same sort of area outside of the blast as that, and yet it still seems to have killed me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. As everyone knows, I'm not the best player in the world. One of my friends sent me a message saying that they hoped I would, like, you know, lead them by the hand and take them through The Last of Us because I was awesome at it. And I'm like, no. Anyway, I've got 9 down, 6 executions. Not too bad. Big difference in the scores, but that's because they were healing it and I wasn't. And Jim did a few revives. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. This is Muppet out. Take it easy. Ciao.